Okay, this is what you do if you're patriotic, you love an underdog, you got fucking rocks in your head. James?
Yeah.
You know I love you, but how did you talk me into this build?
Well, John, I'd like to thank you and the team here for going on this journey with me. About 10 years ago, Dad bought a HG, which was probably a quarter finished project. It came with a pretty scrappy sort of car, and this engine was, let's say it was half built. What was basically destined for the tip, I thought, well, why don't we just use what we've got? Because a lot of people probably got the stuff laying around, and recondition basically a standard bottom end, put a nice little set of heads on it, and just see where it goes from there.
And when we say standard, this thing still had a set of cast, oil return slotted pistons, basically like a standard 253 piston, which I said to him, James, you cannot run those things, just spend the money and just get a set of 4Gs, because these things because we always had the intention to give it a bit of gas
and see where it goes.
And see what happens. And with the intention of more than likely not making it off the dyno right here. And anyway,
it's more of a do what I say, not what I...
That's it.
Yeah, do as I say, not as I do.
That's
scenario. Right. I was stuck in my guns. I said, no, I'm just going to run it because I was being stubborn.
Yep.
And we'll just, hey, let's just see what happens. Roll the dice and see where it comes out.
Yep.
And
what about the combo? Like it's you spent 10 hours porting the heads.
Yeah, so
in the room there.
They're a 1850 intake with a 1.5 standard exhaust, because obviously it's just being a small bore. It's just a 30 over 253 bore.
Yep.
Hasn't even got 8-on-L rods. This thing, it's got standard red motor rods and a set of ARP bolts.
Put some bolts in it and resize them up.
So it's basically that. It's obviously a standard crank. It's been balanced.
Yep.
We did the good machine job, did the tunnel on the block, balanced it all up and resized the rods as you said.
Yep.
Measured everything, clearanced everything properly, and it's probably testament to what will live if it's machined properly and put together well. What you can do with fairly standard sort of parts.
Yeah. So the goal always from the start was what we aimed for. Actually, the camshaft in it is a little Crow solid.
Yeah.
244 at 50 on both.
Yep.
On 107 lobe set.
Yeah. Installed.
So it sounds angry.
Yeah. Installed it slightly a couple of degrees advanced because we want to try and keep the power obviously
down. We don't want to rev this. We don't want to rev this cast pistons to 8,000. that was always the goal.
So we're trying to bunch the numbers up, down low, and see how it went. So I think it's all working fairly well. I really like the aim was to obviously if we could crack 300. That was
300 NA.
And then see. We're going to give it 100 nitrous and see how it went.
See if it lives.
See if we mop the stuff up off the floor or we wheel it off the cart, going in one piece. So, the carby I had laying around.
Manifold you had.
Your Torque I had.
Yep.
I bought a set of roller rockers for it, I think.
Yep.
The valve springs were on the engine when it was built. Previously, they were new, but
they're actually more a hydraulic spring, a 7333 Crow, but we shimmed them up and made it work with a solid.
We put
full budget racing here.
Yeah, it's got a standard style intake valve in it, just with the stainless exhaust, because we sort of had. I was going to put the standard exhaust in, I thought.
Yeah, but it still had standard exhaust valves that had Holden written on them. So we didn't want to run like a 45 or 50-year-old valve. Though they probably. Realistically, probably better quality than what's made these days. But anyway, but we put a stainless in there.
Yeah. Yep. And we ran the cam with standard push rods. Yep. And then when we put the springs in, we threw a set of decent push rods in it. Yep. But essentially, it's very. Yeah. This isn't. This is very achievable for most people to be able to build. So, and look, this is a 253. If you did a similar spec thing, obviously in a 308, you'd have a really healthy engine, really, and for quite a reasonable budget.
Yeah.
So. Yeah. A lot of people, although John's known for obviously building a lot of big blown alcohol cars and that sort of stuff, a lot of people this day and age are getting into resto and putting back together original sort of cars. So in this, and this is, I took it a little bit of inspiration from Bill Jenkins when we built this thing. I said to John, I want to do white extractors, yellow leads, so I wanted to look like it was sort of from the 70s. Yep. The old chrome covers. It's just a classic look, I think, that it's just timeless, man.
And I'll tell you what, I was surprised, it looks really good. Yeah, white pipes and yellow leads. And they could be coming back.
That's it. We might bring something back. But yeah, so if you're putting something back together, you're restoring a car and you want to try and keep things looking fairly original, and you can still, with good machine work and some intelligence, you can
have some fun.
Something that's going to be a bit of fun, I think. Yeah.
All right, so we'll go to a video and show you this thing running and then give it a little spray.